is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hardcore Fab channel, and hopefully you guys just watched an intro of this bad boy pulling out of the shop. And I'm not to that point yet, but that is my goal for today's video, and I've got a lot of little loose ends to finish up. This truck has been so close for a long time, and I have neglected it. I'll admit it. I've pushed it to the back, and we've taken on other projects, and I've done hookers and blow. We built a big giant car crusher, built a RZR rock bouncer, and I'm ready to start another project. But before I do, I cannot let Old Crow sit here any longer and just be pushed off the side anymore. So there's a car show coming up here at the end of the week, and I decided to make that my deadline to be able to make this thing drive out of the shop, and that's my goal for today's video. So let me catch you guys up on what all I've gotten done since you guys have seen it last, and what all we've got left to do. And like I said, hopefully we'll be driving this thing out the door. So stick around to the end and see what happens, I guess. All right, let's start off right here on the front. I've got steering pretty well figured out, so that's a big plus from where we've been. Made this new little arm here. Got a little rod built to be able to tie all the way back there to the steering box. I do need a different bolt in there. That one's too long, and I don't have a nut, so I got to work through that yet. Not a big deal there. The brake lines up here on the front, got that one kind of ran and got a hard line over to here. I need to come up with some stuff to be able to tie a T in here and then get this on the right side of this arm. But anyways, yeah, still braided here to go up through our arm that's going to flex and then go back down to the frame rail. Need another little short piece to come off of there and up to that hose, so not too big of a deal there. That won't take long to finish that up. Got, I still don't have, right here in the center, I'm missing the piece that goes in there and ties the windshield together. I need to kind of figure that out. I had the one originally, but the bolts are all broke off in it, so I've got to deal with that yet. Here's a really good shot of Brady's artwork back here. I'll kind of flip this around to show you guys. So anyways, got the cover back on there, and that is looking pretty good. Pretty well done back here underneath the deck there. I'll show you that in a second. In here, things are starting to come together and looking pretty decent. I am going to go ahead, I think, and still make a panel in there, but probably not before this show. I do still need to put some black paint on this down here. If you guys didn't see it before, I made another video here a week or two ago with the back panel here, kind of finishing that all up and everything. And I think that turned out pretty sick, especially with the seats. The seats aren't really bolted in yet, still have to deal with some of that. And I've still got to kind of come up with some upholstery here for the seat. I've got a piece of wood and foam and yada yada yada, just to need to get some material to go over the top of all that and kind of tie that all together, and that'll be our little seat cushion. Seats aren't mounted either, like I said, they're just kind of sitting there. Did make a little wooden panel here to go over the top of our seat base, and that's going to allow us to have some storage up underneath there again, just like we did on hookers and blow. Let me go ahead and just crawl in here, I guess. So this is what I got going on for the dash area in here. I think it's looking pretty sweet, actually. So originally, of course, we had the glove box over here that didn't close. And then we had a bunch of holes here kind of butchered in the center, along with the holes that are there from the factory that I'm going to keep using. And then we had a gauge cluster here that was not going to work. Definitely not going to work with anything we had going on. And then there were some more holes that were butchered in over here. So I decided to go ahead and just kind of cut that all out and put this panel in here, and I think it turned out really awesome. Like I said, it ties everything all together with the black and the rivets and everything going on with the rest of the cab, and I think it gives it a really cool look. We're able to retain, you know, kind of some of the stock lines and feel of everything. There is still a few little holes up here and there that, you know, not that big of a deal. I can live with that, and those are fine. But I think it cleaned it up a bunch and makes it look way better than it did. So you guys are probably wondering why I have a shutoff here in the dash instead of at the back of the vehicle where you normally see something like this. And I'm actually using that as my main key. So I think it'd be kind of cool to redo this part of it. And it's just got a little round shaft there that with a little tit on it, so it won't be hard to recreate that and be able to put, you know, a cool screwdriver end or something like that on it or whatever, to be able to have that as our key instead of just regular plain old ordinary, you know, stock key. I didn't get much video of putting any of this stuff in because it's total pain here inside the cab, but I did get kind of a parts list of everything that we've got going on here inside the cab, and I got a little video of that for you guys so you can see the pieces and components if you're trying to do some basic wiring stuff like this. So it's pretty simple, especially with these parts that I got. So I'll show you that real quick now. So we've got the wire coming from the starter all the way to the battery already. So we've got power there to the starter. I'm going to come off the starter up here to a switch here that I'm going to put in the dash. And yes, I know this isn't conventional, but this is what I'm doing. I think it'll be kind of cool to make a cool key for this later. So I'm going to put this in the dash for main kill switch in the dash. And then I'm going to power off of it over here to the quick car, this ignition control panel. It's kind of a fun little style. It's got the little switch you can flip on and off like that. And then push button start. The extra switch over here, I'm going to have powering up the fan. So it's going to have a light on there so I can tell for sure if the fan's on or off or not. So that'll be handy. And I went ahead and bought the wiring harness for that. So this thing has got a plug on the back of it here. This makes this super simple. So plug it in here, and then we're already wired up. So already got connectors on it and everything. So real easy deal to hook up. This will go to the starter. This will also go to the distributor. So this stuff right here will make the truck run. That's all we really need to make the truck run. And then from the switch over here, I do need a relay in the fan, so I bought a little relay box. We're going to have a fan relay in it, we're going to have a headlight relay in it, and then we're also going to have a relay for the compressor to be able to run the air system. So got relays there with some extras here, so this is a pretty cool little box. And I've also got it fused here, so we'll be able to have some fuses in the truck to control everything there as well. And I also bought a little tiny button here that'll be able to hide pretty quick and easy anywhere in the dash to be able to run the air horn. So that'll be pretty fun. And all this stuff, I'm going to have a link to it in the description below if you guys are interested in any of it, where you can go find it. So look for that down there. A couple other things that I also picked up would be this standard headlight switch right here. So that's going to do our headlights. And then I also have a switch here that's just going to be for running the fan. The other thing I forgot to mention while I was in here in the cab is the steering shaft is all in. Got the hub welded on there for the steering wheel to go on there, and steering wheel's over there, wherever. And also got the controller in here for the air ride. Well, it's in here. That seat base is kind of sitting on it right now. So anyways, there's that, but I still do have to kind of get that ran a little bit better than the way it is right now. And you can also see the gas pedal. This one wasn't quite as simple as the one on Hookers and Blow. It's the same pedal, but the shape of the floor didn't allow me just to go straight to the floor. So I had to build a little standoff thing here at the bottom of it right there. And need to weld that into the floor, and then I'm just going to rivet the pedal to the little bracket. So still have that left to do. And also running the 1/4-inch airlines all the way up through everywhere, and then getting the gauges in the dash for the 1/4-inch airlines. So that's a big one that I still have to do as well. And if those are in, then that'll allow me to go ahead and get the train horn back here, because currently, yeah, can't really see it very good. Currently, the gauges are just kind of stuck in there hanging out of the switch box for the air ride. So I couldn't put the train horns in there where those are at. So I'll get some of this stuff kind of tied up and put back together, and I'll show you guys what that stuff all looks like when it's all done. Oh yeah, one more other thing I forgot to tell you guys. I've got lug nuts finally for these wheels. Those are a total pain to try to find. But I finally found the right ones, so that'll be pretty awesome, because now we'll be able to take the steelies off the front and put the center lines on there that match the old school big giant center lines in the back. So I think that's going to look pretty sweet on there. I'm super stoked for that, so got to knock that out as well. gosh, guys. I just busted my rear. That darn fan over there. See that? I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't talk. There is a wire on the top of that fan, and I'm like tired. It's hot as hell in here. I dug the thing out, brought it over here because I've got lines leaking. I'm trying to figure out what's going on and tighten everything up. And I go to step over the darn thing, and that wire hanging off the top there, totally like Joe Biden to me. I mean, just flat on the ground. Just my foot was hooked in there. I couldn't do anything about it. And now I'm like jacked up. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to call it the day. Barely walk right now. It's got my knee all kinds of jacked up, but I think we got pretty well everything all figured out and situated here on the truck as far as the brakes go and everything now, I hope. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.